So after last video reviewing Melifex by API, now we're gonna review a product that I've been using for a month called IckX, which is an ick remover, and I'm gonna show you guys my thoughts and if it works. So let's get into it. So IckX is, like I said, it's an ick remover. It does actually a multiple things. You can actually see on the bottle right here. There's actually 4 different diseases. I don't know how well it's gonna focus right there, but I don't know how to pronounce the last two. But the main thing, most people buy this for ick, but those other three, I know what the second one is. I'm not sure what the other, the 3 and 4 is. I'll have to look that up and actually see for myself. But IckX, to get to the point, for people that are probably not going to watch for very long, does this product work? Yes, and this is probably the best ick med that I've ever used. I've used quite a bit of variety, liquid, stuff like the tablets that you throw in your tank and they dissolve. There's actually multiple type of variety of meds that people use, but one of the reasons I think this is the best is because it is liquid form, and I think the liquid forms of medications are honestly the best to use. That they're the easiest to dose and um, real easy to treat your fish with. Um, like this one, it needs every capful's 10 gallons. Um, and one thing you need to note about is this tank for example is 40 gallons, and you don't really want to overdose this stuff. I don't think it will exactly harm anything if you did, but we don't want to take chances, especially with all the money we put in our aquariums. So one thing I'd like to think about is, yeah, this is 40 gallons, but we also have hardscape in here and substrate, and that takes away volume, which takes away water. So yeah, this could be 40 gallons, but in reality, this could be only 30. So that's what I about thought about. So I basically dosed 3 caps in my tank, but I probably could have went a little more if I wanted to. But this stuff worked instantly. I dosed this the first week and it was already going away the first week. It was actually basically gone the first week, but I kept dosing it for a month, and that's probably how long I would recommend doing it, for at least a month. Because yeah, you might see the it get away, but you never know. It could still be in your aquarium, and you just want to get rid of that stuff altogether so you don't have to deal with it in the future. And so I dosed this stuff for about a month, which and yeah, it worked the first week, and I just kept dosing it just to make sure. And yeah, this my tank had it pretty bad. If you don't know the story from the last video, I basically bought fish from this fish store, and they ended up having ick on them. I usually always quarantine my fish, and of course, the first time that I don't, I get ick. It is, I guess that is how it works now. It's kind of karma, but and of course, I didn't have meds, so it made it even worse because I had to wait on meds to get in the mail. And it really affected my fish pretty bad. Not only did I lose all the fish I bought, but some of the fish that I already had in here. So my recommendation is to always have meds, no matter what. And if you got to splurge a little bit of money, it's not worth losing even more money worth of stuff you have. Just always have meds on you. It's not terribly hard. But so one example of one of my silver tips had it pretty bad compared to the other fish, and it really affected their body. It was almost like eating away at their body. It was kind of weird. I've never seen something like it. And after I got the ick away, I actually used this stuff, which I did review on the last video. So if you guys want to check that out, um, and I used this just to experiment. I'm like, well, this does kind of fix the external of a fish. So I was like, we'll experiment and see what happens when I dose this stuff in here. And surprisingly, it actually fixed up. I mean, that's exactly what this stuff does, but I was actually surprised that it actually fixed its entire body and fins and everything. I mean, it just made this fish, you know, look new again. It was kind of weird, but it was kind of cool to see. I've never tried meds like that before, and it was cool to actually see like their fins actually get repaired like quickly like that. So um, that's proof that actually worked really well. And having these two as a duo for me really works really well. It's kind of so if you have ick really bad and it does kind of affect your fish really bad externally, this is definitely the med I would definitely have beside it to use after you dose this medication. But everybody, it happens in different ways, so I don't know exactly what's happening in your aquarium. So different meds, you might have to dose something different. But if we're talking about just ick, no question, I would dose this. This is the best I've ever used. It's liquid, it's easy. It is blue. So, and at the end of this, I'm gonna add a clip. So we're gonna end it here. So if you guys, for the people that aren't gonna keep watching, I'll go see you in the next video. But for the people that want to see what this looks like when it gets dosed into your tank and, some of the things you need to watch out for, you can watch the clip next. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. So as you see, when you put in your X, it is blue. So when you pour it in, this stuff can stain your silicone. This tank luckily has black silicone, so it shouldn't really be a problem. It could probably still give a little of a tint of blue maybe. But that shouldn't be the biggest problem, at least in my tank. And it also will stain. It more than likely will probably stain at least the top of your sand. The rocks, I doubt unless you have plastic, more than likely it would. But this is serious stone, so I don't think it's gonna be a big problem. Real plants, I don't think will be a big problem, and especially they can grow and then you can cut them and they'll regrow again. So even if they do get stained somehow, it's not the biggest deal in the world. But anything plastic, yes, it more than likely will get stained. And then your intakes, your filters, you could probably still clean them. I doubt, like mine are clear, so yeah, they probably will get a little hint of blue after a while. So we'll have to just watch that. And then your heaters, if you have exposed heaters, everything might have a hint of blue all in the end, but it's either your fish or a couple things your tank stained. So it's kind of what you want to decide, and I think the saving your fish is a smarter option here. But so just be aware of that. And then yeah, there's not really much else like can really say about all of that. Just make sure you don't have any source of carbon or anything that's going to remove meds in your filters. Take those all out before you dose this type of stuff. It's just gonna remove them, and then the meds you just poured in there were for nothing. And so make sure you don't have any of that stuff. And I guess one other thing that I've experienced, especially with like stuff like this, your sponges and stuff, your actual stuff in your filter will get stained too. Actually 100% probably will, especially if you have white sponges. Any color sponge is gonna get stained from this blue. It's such a dark blue when you pour it in, and it's just gonna really stain everything. But if you have a tank like I do and you don't really have anything fake in there, it shouldn't even be a problem. But this is just an example, and your tank's gonna look a little blue, which who cares? But honestly, it looks kind of cool like that. But yeah, I mean, this stuff works great. I mean, if you're trying to clear ick out of your tank, I mean, I don't think there's any other product I would recommend. I mean, this brand is one of the best in anything. I used it for well, it wasn't this exact product, but they have their the deworming meds, and that was for more like puffers and stuff like that gets worms inside them from the wild and all that. If you guys know, for the people that have cared for fish that deal with that stuff. But all their meds are top notch. I always go with them with any med. But other than that, the stuff works great and highly recommend it. I'll put it in the description to where you can buy it. I'll just link it to an Amazon. And other than that, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.